So how many dollars you pay to occupy this place?
I pay $60 commission before I give it.
$20 every month. So what the commissioner saying now?
The commissioner is saying
betray you?
Government betray us. Lose confidence in the government. Lose confidence in the government because if you don't follow the leave for here, it's almost all time. You will not check out. You say you'll get up for here. What will happen? Our family then to support. The government betray us. The government betray us. Then the Liberty Party they say they can do best for whatever.
Liberty Party or Unity Party?
Unity Party. Unity Party. They betray us. Because we're in agreement to support them. And not basically you have to take it right or access. Now they tell you what to do here. Where our location? Where our location for us?
So I know you are getting prepared for the system itself.
Yes. They have worked boots before they continue. Why are they continue?
But they are saying they're doing it because of your own safety, because you're on a tension line.
So the government get no way to help us. The government get any way to help us. But we have our children, we have our mother, then I live for us. The responsibility is for us. Then why make it for any other circle? So that pressure throw you down. And I only every morning as I get to the 2:30, they're taking me for here. What do they expect from the take?
So how many dollars you pay to occupy this place?
I pay $60 commission before I give it.
$20 every month. So what the commissioner saying now?
The commissioner is saying he's not aware of it. Government betray us. Lose confidence in the government. Lose confidence in the government because if you don't follow the leave for here, it's almost all time. You will not check out. You say you'll get up for here. What will happen? Our family then to support. The government betray us. The government betray us. Then they want to take part of the selection.
Tuesday morning, and it's good to have you joining the conversation on this wonderful, wonderful day. You know, that's the voice of Simon Freeman. I'm going to go back to this thing. You listen to how he described the president and looking, picture me Liberia for the standpoint and where what he's being honest, and what if the government also have a listening ear to say, oh yeah, some of these things that folks are talking actually serious. And we'll break down the speech delivered on the 22nd anniversary of the Congress for Democratic Change. The speech delivered by the political leader of the Alternative National Congress, Alexander B. Cummings, and we'll do all of the analysis. You will have the time to weigh in. Please stick to what we will discuss, and please, I don't need text from anybody this morning, because if you do that, I will expose you publicly this morning. 0775 will be the number. At the appropriate time, we'll call it up. But this is the Morning Ride, the people's program that walk the walk and talk the talk. And that's usually help to shift the paradigm of our democracy. Without fear, without favor, we speak undiluted truth. The very hard truth, I say, on this platform. And I'm Wiki Brooks, Ambassador of Vice, alongside T. Nicholas Bagley, control the sounds and video. We're going to be here up until 10 o'clock this morning. Keep watching us on our YouTube channel, Kool Online, as well as Kool Radio 91.9, as Kool Radio Online as well. All of these outlets bring you all of this information. It's going to be great promises. It'll be great, stimulating, and very thought-provoking this morning. So you're listening to Honorable Simon Freeman. He's one of the presidents who graced the occasion there in Grangeda County, and you listen to him as he speak about the condition in the country led by the current president, Joseph Yvonne Parker, and we will bring you the analysis about the speech that was delivered by Alexander B. Cummings. So keep listening this morning.
For discussion. In other countries, red light is all over the place. They erect one red light, then Ghanaian businesses, and so Ghanaian businesses will become
together for the purpose of grabbing power. That is not opposition unity. That is a power grab. We cannot unite based on power grab. This time around, The unification of the opposition must be based around a guiding principle that a new Liberia will emerge and a leadership will emerge that will be based on the quality of the individuals and the quality of the ideas. What makes that important is that human beings can always disagree. But if you want to put opposition together and you didn't agree from the beginning, how you will run the country? How you will put competent people in office? How you will have a roadmap to develop the country? And then when you take power now, you start fighting over power. To avoid that, you the Liberian people, stop pushing us, come together, come together, come together. It's not working like that. Ask us, what is the idea we are coming together around? Let us produce that idea first. Let us see whether it is the CDC idea we're coming around, whether it is Mr. Cummings' idea we are coming around, or whether it is the CMC or the MPC idea, or whether we take a piece of all the ideas and put it together. Okay? For the CMC, we support 100% opposition unity. We stand for it today. We stand for it tomorrow. All we ask our colleagues in the opposition is that let us develop a guiding principle. Let us develop a guiding principle. Let us start taking all kind of nyama people and put them in the House of Representatives and Senate. Let us define and refine who becomes our representatives. You cannot say you want opposition to unite, then you have the same problem. Let us sit down and think back why we are here today, so that we make sure when we take power, we don't make that mistake again. If we fail to review our past, if we fail to review our stewardship, we will repeat the same mistake. We were right here the other day. The opposition said, John, we are must take power. Unity Party must rest. And that's so it happened. John Weah were in power. 90 days after John Weah take power, they said, no, we don't want John Weah. And so 6-year campaign took place. And the first time in Liberian history where campaign took place for 6 years. Opposition sat and said nothing about what kind of principle we are going to run the country with. Within 2020, and clearly under the leadership of ABC, the opposition was in charge of that Senate election. We broke the rules. We allowed the opposition to be split apart. We took away the best people that would have turned this country around. And here we are today. For CMC, that mistake that was made in 2023, CMC will never be a part of any such mistake. We will never ever join in opposition simply because we want to remove power. These people that are in power, for me, I'm not worried about them because their time finished. What I'm worried about is why are we replacing their way? What quality of leadership? Who is going to represent Grand Chile? Who is going to represent Maryland?
It's a 3 years old boycott to make them do things that they know are against the law. There was drug that was arrested at the airport. Nobody arrested, nobody house surrounded. But former members of the opposition, former members of the past government, they have arraigned them at the court, they've dragged them to court, they've sent police to arrest them, they've done all kinds of things. I'm saying to you, when we come to power in 2029, you know, during the time of President Toba, they had government fund in Grand Chile. Those of you that are young don't know that. The prisoners from Central Prison, they used to bring them to work on the farm. Boyka and Kool and those guys will come here to make farm for you to eat. We will bring Boyka here so that he can work for the first time on the farm to know what it is to work for money. And I want to say to you that you are here is a good thing. And 83 years old Boyka to make them do things that they know are against the law. There was drug that was arrested at the airport. Nobody arrested, nobody house surrounded. But former members of the opposition, former members of the past government, they have arraigned them at the court, they've dragged them to court, they've sent police to arrest them, they've done all kinds of things. I'm saying to you, when we come to power in 2029, you know, during the time of President Toba, they had government farm in Grand Jida. Those of you that are young don't know that. The prisoners from Central Prison, they used to bring them to work on the farm. Boyka and Kool and those guys will come here to make farm for you to eat. We will bring Boyka here so that he can work for the first time on the farm to know what it is to work for money. And I want to say to you that you are here is a good thing. And 83 years old Boyka to make them do things that they know are against the law. There was drug that was arrested at the airport. Nobody arrested, nobody house surrounded. But former members of the opposition, former members of the past government, they have arraigned them at the court, they've dragged them to court, they've sent police to arrest them, they've done all kinds of things. I'm saying to you,
a politician, and Honorable Simon Freeman, there giving his own view as it relates to how government is proceeding. You listen to how he described the president, and there are a couple of things he spoke about. You know, what this government is also in the know and take into consideration seriously some of these things that have been said. You heard him. He was on his way to Nairobi on a flight that the president was also on board. And they gave him a bottle of Coke. They gave him toffee, that you would call candy. Even iPad to play a game. He still fell asleep. So, and this is the man that people asking to have another 6 years. And he's telling you that this government have not done anything as a relates to development. So because one NTA boss will leave Monrovia and go to Grand Jida or other parts, meaning it should take over the entire country for discussion. But somebody is asking, you're a businessman. You talk about you have invested in other countries. There were business people who told you. We got to be honest to the disco. So now, Honorable Simon Freeman, you want to be president. Your political party did not even get the number to even exist as a political party by the election law. And you want to be president. How many presidents know who your party chairman is? You secretary general. When you talk about MPC, the only name that you mention is Simon Freeman. How many business people you sat with to tell them, we subscribing from DSTV, we complain on a regular basis. What is the investment? Who are those you're talking to? How is this business cut across the country, but you want to be president of the country? There are a couple of things he said. Do we need all of the advisors to the president? And he referred to them as people who are dealing cocaine. So if Simon Freeman were called today to answer and tell people he was being out, and not just allegation, but he was so definite in the statement, because these are people who are involved in the cocaine. So if the president now, you need to look at your inner cycle, because sometimes some of these things could just be true. Now, you listen to him. And the anniversary committee chair, in person of Alexander Cummings, he said the president is involved into tribal politics. And there are a couple of things he said. Looking at how the country is proceeding under the watch of this president, that things are not proceeding rightly. And that's why the political leader of the Alternative National Congress, that he said he has observed that instead of building bridges across the country for this government, he talked about ethnic and political line. The Unity Party-led government has deepened the cracks, aligned Liberia to regrets into dangerous tribal line and partisan extremism. He said Liberians under this watch of this government have been reduced to tribal men, partisans, rather than citizens bound for a common destiny. That's why he said at the 22nd anniversary of the Congress of Democratic Change that was held in Grand Gila County over the weekend, he described the attitude of the Unity Party against its people as a betrayal of leadership by the Unity Party government and is unacceptable. He said true leadership demands setting new standards, meeting higher goals, and taking responsibility, not hiding behind failures of past regimes. So you get that. So the Unity Party is hiding behind the failure of the past regime. He also alluded to the folks that the CDC failed. So the Unity Party is now, because of the failure of the CDC, they are hiding behind behind the failure of past regimes. And the people were clapping. Those are some of the very hard truths that came out, both to the Unity Party and that of the CDC, that you failed. And the people who are in power now have decided to hide behind your failure, to look for the excuse. And he said, at this critical point, or this juncture in our country history, Liberia cannot afford leaders who excuse incompetence, because Liberia need leaders who embrace accountability, drive social cohesion, champion inclusive social economic development as the foundation of lasting peace, prosperity, and change. Anything short of that, no. And these are some of the things that we have heard from some of our leaders who spoke. We either won't play you exactly what Simon Freeman had to say to gathering there in Grand Gila County when he went there to great occasion, describing Liberia. You know, is this political party the progressive, the movement for progressive change, Simon Freeman? How new is this party? This is a businessman. He has spoken about this thing. In time past, he said, We don't even need the executive mansion to run as where the president can run the country from just anywhere. If he becomes president, that mansion will not exist. It will be changed into either a hotel or a resort for people that will make money. And you don't need the number of advisors around the president because you don't see the impact and they are involved into deals. I want you to listen to this man again.
MTA bus can come from a road up to branch there, so the government is doing well.
And she said the man was beating her. And you been talking, you were treating her so well, and she moved to you. And she married you. Now you treated her so bad and she going back to her old husband, and then you a bad man. Walker is a man, he doesn't keep his promises. Somebody told me a few months ago that their father and Walker went to school in CWA. And the father and Walker had an altercation. Several years later, almost 50 years later, this young man, Walker, has something against him because of his father. Grand Jida County, Swedru is laid out because of Samuel Doe. But that's not the same for Foya. For Foya, the only major development is Walker drug money, $12 million house. That's the man that you made president of this country. And we are saying we're going to change that. On one day, they say, well, the opposition not united. But then CDC is having a celebration. We've come together, and the same people say, but what are they going to do there? So we will not listen to them. Each of us on this podium have a big ego. Each of us have a big heart. Each of us have a plan to develop Liberia. But everybody cannot be president at the same time. And so we are willing to bend our egos, to unite our visions, and to drive our country forward. To the young men in the Unity Party that are permitting an 83-year-old Baka to make them do things that they know are against the law. There is drug that was arrested at the airport. Nobody arrested, nobody house surrounded. But former members of the opposition, former members of the past government, they have arraigned them at the court, they've dragged them to court, they've sent police to arrest them, they've done all kinds of things. I'm saying to you, when we come to power in 2029, you know, during the time of President Toba, they had government fire in Grand Jida. Those of you that are young don't know that. The prisoners from Central Prison, they used to bring them to work on the farm. Walker and Kool and those guys will come here to make farm for you to eat. We will not just keep them at the Central Prison. We will bring Walker here so that he can work for the first time on the farm to know what it is to work for money. And I want to say to you that you are here is a good thing.
22 years of existing as a political party, and that's the voice of the political leader of the movement for progressive change. And we'll play a couple of voices, and this is the political leader message from the Congress for Democratic Change, his first.
Now we are here is also a good thing. This morning on the radio I said, look, we are celebrating 22 years of the CDC. To have established a political party as an individual that had no political experience, to build an institution that won election, last election, is still united, still a party, 22 years later, should be celebrated even by the Unity Party. Many of you wondering how Totman ran this country for 30 years. Those of us that are in our 60s can tell you. When the people decided to march against Totman advised us, said, hey, Mr. President, you have to stop that. There was a police director, there was an army chief. Totman said, guess what? We will provide the water, we will provide the food, we'll provide the marching band for those people. And Totman himself went and marched with them and collected a statement for them. If Unity Party had any sense, they would have been here because this is a celebration of democracy. Thank you so much.
This is a celebration of democracy. Put your hands together for Honorable Simeon Freeman of MPC. Swaju, are you ready? Unity Party have gotten their answer. Simeon Freeman said he came here to declare that they are willing to bend their egos to unseat the Unity Party. He also said that they are here and he has come also to join in to prepare all of us that in 2029 Mr. Boaka and Jeremiah Kool will be deployed in the forest to make fun for you, the masses. And they get an answer now? Yes. So you have called Boaka and tell you, Simon from finish saying the reason you came here. The men are calling one of birthday cake, eating it. Let's put your hands together as we now welcome the political leader of the Citizen Movement for Change, Honorable Musa Hassan Berete, the Yellow Boys of CMC. Thank you.
Good evening, Zulu Whiskey. Let me say, I just came to escort Simon Freeman. So the mission is all, we on the same mission. I want to thank the CDC for inviting us. I also want to thank our political leaders, Honorable Cummings, Honorable Freeman, Justice Janet. But I want to talk about opposition unity. I want to talk about opposition unity from the flip side. As far as I'm concerned, and as far as Liberian politics is concerned, every time the opposition went together to unite, it never worked. There are a lot of reasons it never worked. If you put opposition together for the purpose of grabbing power, that is not opposition unity. That is a power grab.
Father and Baka went to school easy.
Of the citizens do in Zue. On to much.
Zulu Whiskey, how are you? No. Are you guys hungry? Zulu Whiskey, how are you? You know, I want to speak in very simple English. You saw a representative from Senator Amarakana on this platform speaking. You see former Associate Justice Janice speaking. It says something. If a woman was married to a man before, and she said the man was beating her, and you been talking, you were treating her so well, and she moved to you, and she married you. Now you treated her so bad that she going back to her old husband and being you a bad man. Walker is a man, he doesn't keep his promises. Somebody told me a few months ago that their father and Baka went to school in CWA. And the father and Baka had an altercation. Several years later, almost 50 years later, this young man, Baka had something against him because of his father. Grand Jida County, Swedru is laid out because of Samuel Doe. But that's not the same for Foya. For Foya, the only major development is Waka drug money $12 million house. That's the man that you made president of this country. And we are saying we're going to change that. On one day they say, well, the opposition not united. But then CDC is having a celebration. We've come together, and the same people say, but what are they going to do there? So we will not listen to them. Each of us on this podium have a big ego. Each of us have a big heart. Each of us have a plan to develop Liberia. But everybody cannot be president at the same time. And so we are willing to bend our egos, to unite our visions, and to drive our country forward. To the young men in the Unity Party that are permitting an 83 years old Baka to make them do things that they know are against the law. There was drug that was arrested at the airport. Nobody arrested, nobody house surrounded. But former members of the opposition, former members of the past government, they have arraigned them at the court, they've dragged them to court, they've sent police to arrest them, they've done all kinds of things. I'm saying to you, when we come to power in 2029, you know, during the time of President Toba, they had government farm in Grand Jida. Those of you that are young don't know that. The prisoners from Central Prison, they used to bring them to work on the farm. Waka and Kool and those guys will come here to make farm for you to eat.
The government should look in our inner cycle and know that's so. And come clear, because we have heard these things and all the what that we are not in charge of our economy. Now you listen to the former president, the state Liberia turning into. Is it far better? I mean, is Liberia, you know, retrogressing under the watch of Joseph Yoman Boyka as president, in the words of Simon Freeman? Was it better yesterday under the watch of former President George Weah today? He said that we are rolling back the games in our democratic parties, that this government is not on a proper democratic path. But listen to Alexander Bennett comments, what he had to say as well.
We have failed because what should be a government of the people, by the people, and for the people has become the government of the few. Government in, government out.
Thank you. Please have a seat. Thank you. Lord, on this historic occasion of the 22nd anniversary of CDC. And let me also say to Senator Nimley, Senator Dennis, it's good to be celebrating this occasion with you in Grand Jida, the land, the rising sun. This moment speaks not only to the growing strength and maturity of our democracy, but to the perseverance and triumph of a people's movement. A people's movement. The formation of the Congress for Democratic Change was a pivotal moment in the course of our political dispensation. This party of the masses, led by President George Weah, gave voice to the voiceless, hope to the hopeless, and courage to the downtrodden. This party gave sons and daughters of low-income and neglected communities an opportunity to serve out of West Point, Newport Town, Claratown, Logan Town, Swedru, and across the nation, key ministers, commissioners, directors, representatives, senators, and a president. This is symbolic of the power and resilience of a people overlooked, underestimated, and treated like outsiders in their own home. I know that all too well, as I've also been overlooked, underestimated, and treated like an outsider. From a young boy with 3 sisters who grew up in Point Four in a humble Christian home, a mother who sewed women's underwear, and an educator who later became a preacher with a standard bearer, all from one root, Liberia, which means our common denominator, which is our common denominator. Our destinies are inseparably linked, and so our future must be built together as one people. Today, as a nation and people, we face a struggle that is as old as our country. Some have termed it a struggle for rights and rights. Others have named it a struggle for social justice. But at its core, Liberia's struggle has always been for equality of opportunity. For too long, poverty, inequality, exclusion, marginalization have deprived our nation. These evils have dominated our political space and undermined our quest for nation building and sustained development. Our struggle has taken many forms, including civil wars, public dissent, mass protests by our people, and lofty promises of political leaders. Yet time and again, the state has failed to adequately address these issues, leading more Liberians into distrust and cynicism. The question before the conscience of our nation is not whether we need change. The real question is, why have we failed to change our country? The answer to that question we must face, some inconvenience truths. Let me list 3 of them. 1, we've always had a government of the few. That means only few people benefit from the government. We have failed because what should be a government of the people, by the people, and for the people has become a government of the few. Government in, government out have prioritized only a few people. Political tension and civil strife in Liberia have always been rooted in unequal access to the nation's wealth and the deliberate exclusion of citizens from national decision-making. It's even more rife under this unity party government, which is no different. This cannot be an excuse or just a policy gap. Rather, it is a profound failure of past and current leadership. At every stage of our development, bold and visionary decisions are required to ensure fair distribution of our resources and to foster reconciliation. Yet our leaders have consistently chosen the path of division over unity, favoritism over fairness, and expediency over justice. Instead of building bridges across ethnic and political lines, the Joseph Nima Boyka-led Unity Party government has deepened the cracks, allowing Liberia to regress into dangerous tribal cleavages and partisan extremism. We are being reduced to tribesmen and partisans and citizens bound by common destiny. This betrayal of leadership by the Unity Party government is not acceptable. Weak institutions, the dysfunction of the Liberian state, and the continuance of bad governance are not the exclusive practice of one regime or one class of people. But it is just
so it's quite unfortunate that the weather cannot permit us to continue this broadcast because we cannot continue in the rain. The rain is drizzling.
Because it's starting to rain, let me end my speech by saying the following.
Let me see how best I can squeeze under this
on behalf of the ANC,
yeah, so we can continue from here.
I want to congratulate the CDC for your
22 years. Overlooked and underestimated when I returned home 10 years ago to serve my country. And I was also called an outsider. I've been labeled arrogant, proud, stuck up. But in fact, I'm just a simple and blessed by God. A young boy from Point 4 who attended demonstration school, became president of my CABA graduating class, worked at LBDI. All of these things before my global success. Similarly, with the standard bearer, our former president, a simple man blessed by God, a young talented man from Farratown who played football so well for local teams before his global success, who came back to serve people. That is what this moment is about. Triumph, resilience, perseverance of people overlooked and underestimated. This moment is also a living testament to a traditional Liberian proverb. Although a tree may grow into many branches, it is never separated from its roots. In our multi-party democracy, we may each be identified by different party labels, but we are all from one root, Liberia, which means our common denominator, which is our common denominator. Our destinies are inseparably linked, and so our future must be built together as one people. Today, as a nation and people, we face a struggle that is as old as our country. Some have termed it a struggle for rights and rights. Others have named it a struggle for social justice. But at its core, Liberia's struggle has always been for equality of opportunity. For too long, poverty, inequality, exclusion.
From the former president to that of other political leaders from various political parties who spoke at the 22nd anniversary of the Congress for Democratic Change. There is where you said it, Grangida County. You listen to Simon Freeman, and the guys have been very definite, and it's time that the government look in the inner cycle as it relates to the drugs matter, because the former president's officials of government are the ones who are leading the trafficking of drugs. Simon Freeman said the same thing, and we continue to hear these things coming up. With the president, I see and hear these messages, but Honorable Cummings also talk about the failure of past regime to the current. That's why nobody should hide behind the failure of past regime. Did the CDC actually, the folks, did they understand what exactly he was saying at the time that they too had the failures? But this is where we find ourselves. You listen to, because we taught to bring all of these things at the doorstep to understand as to what are the politicians who have been honest, who have been sincere, and the former president who have been definite that he's coming back. They're coming back to power in 2029. What are they doing? What is the Unity Party-led government also doing in hindering? Because they too asked him. As Simon Freeman said, the president is old. He sleeps, and he should not come back. Why? The people have the audacity, the temerity to say, oh yeah, we'll bring the man back. Before we go to the lines, I want you to hear him again.
And 83 years old Barker to make them do things that they know are against the law. There was drug that was arrested at the airport. Nobody arrested, nobody house surrounded. But former members of the opposition, former members of the past government, they have arraigned them at the court, they've dragged them to court, they've sent police to arrest them, they've done all kinds of things. I'm saying to you, when we come to power in 2029. You know, during the time of President Toba, they had government farm in Grand Jida. Those of you that are young don't know that.
You know that.
The prisoners from Central Prison, they used to bring them to work on the farm.
Yes.
Boyka and Kool and those guys will come here to make farm for you to eat. We will bring Boyka here so that he can work for the first time on the farm to know what it is to work for money. And I want to say to you that you are here is a good thing. And 83 years old Boyka to make them do things that they know are against the law. There was drug that was arrested at the airport. Nobody arrested, nobody house surrounded. But former members of the opposition, former members of the past government, they have arraigned them at the court. They've dragged them to court. They've sent police to arrest them. They've done all kinds of things. I'm saying to you, when we come to power in 2029, you know, during the time of President Toba, they had government farm in Grand Jida. Those of you that are young don't know that.
You know that.
The prisoners from Central Prison, they used to bring them to work on the farm.
Yes.
Boyka and Kool and those guys will come here to make farm for you to eat.
Listen to all of those folks who have said this thing. You know, sometimes when our leaders appear in a public space to speak, they speak on some of these things. We all now today are concerned about this $19 million drugs burst that was discovered at the Rabat International Airport, just about to be exported. And today, one of the political items in our country, Sima Freeman, is now telling us that the president's advisors are the ones who are dealing the drugs. And the president said, the former president said, government officials are the ones who are leading these things. And are we concerned about some of these things because we are in the midst of this fight? Liberia today say asking who are those arrested, what are the names, and you know, people will just call, nobody home be surrounded, search, and all of these things. Liberia, but we are now hearing from our folks who knows they could just be on top of the game, telling us exactly freedom of speech. When these people are called, when we say now that there's a crack on freedom of speech, crack down, people trying to suppress people, because we want to know who are these people, because people stay asking, who are those? The names that were called, people say adopting it. Now we're hearing that officials of the government are involved in this thing, and it coming from key figures. The former president have said it, and Seymour Freeman have also stated that. Where do we go from here? Call us on 0775 919 919. The advisors to the president now, they're telling us that they are the folks who are involved in the cooking deals. So let's go to the lines and talk to our callers. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you for the show this morning. We have our country Liberia. I think this issue is not about politics. I'm so much happy that the former president is saying key government officials is strong into the drug business. Simon Freeman is also coming up with this name. Let this guy come up to government. Let them get along with government and bring these people out.
Yeah, because we want, because the president said, the president said it's a cartel and they need to dismantle the cartel. So if we try to hear key figure to say this thing, I think they need to work and support the government to expose these people now.
These people out and bring them to government. Let government prosecute the people. Let them speaking. Let them bring the people out. So they know them. Let them bring them out. Let them call him.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk to other callers. You're live.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Anthony Sopa. I will call you from people. Senior people are saying that the government official is the one having the job. So let them call senior people, to tell us which of the officials are having this job, that bring this job to the country. Let them call the official name. Let them call the man to send every day. Let's discover the person name. But they just say government official.
But when government calls Simon Freeman now to can't help with investigation to provide the names, the next thing you'll find people saying again, oh, they're running after politicians, they're running after opposition. Now, but he was being clear. He was not saying allegation, but he was clear. He said the president advisors are the one who drink cocaine. And the former president also stated that officials of government who are leading the trafficking. So, we need to put an end to this thing. Let people come and show all these people. Let's see how we can have them prosecuted.
Yeah, thank you for the offer.
You're welcome. Let's talk to other callers on the line. Good morning. You're live.
Yeah, hello.
Good morning.
My name is Beno Kamara. Yeah, the one way you talking. The time when they used to say that job we have to give a country, it was that bad. So that was looking for the land. They said the job we have to say, oh, bringing it.
And that's why we want to put an end to this thing, to know these people who are doing these things. So people who know these people, let them be able to show these people to us. Let the government be able to prosecute them. No, now because it was wrong yesterday, so it should continue. Your mother, you should not be defending the kind of thing. Your mother. Sometimes some of your mother, you're too discouraging. Your mother. You know how many young people today drugs is crying? When somebody telling us that they know exactly the people who do these things, we can't have these people. Let the people be exposed and be prosecuted. You say because yesterday it happened to somebody, you a mother, you will speak like that? Good morning.
Yeah, morning, sir.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to answer calling from the rule. You see, it's very our politicians know who are those that bring in the drug. We don't have to go for foreign experts to have an investigation. Let the foreign need. Don't investigate them. But why would they be just accusing the government or government official? Who are the drugs that bring in the drug? We don't know. And we want to know those people. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, we need to know these people because these people are causing serious harm to the society. Send the in government position and abusing power and with all what they're earning and say want to put their hands into drugs trading. Let us know these people. So people should not just be talking and don't show other people. Because you have to answer. Thank you. Good morning.
Morning. Frank.
Frank, you're welcome.
You see, everywhere that we get from order and say that the company became from order. In your 3 months, when I enter that direct company tour, where they still on our keeping every guy blindly, and she will pay the corner down every night to go for him, better from the country. They look for him, then when you laugh to walk and let the country. So they are the same thing they own, and they say they know the people, and they know the people, go and help government. When you think you're that person will be pregnant for that tomorrow, you can work and people will see your hand when you get here. Then they have put beyond control. When anything happens in the country, but you say that you're making payment, making furniture, tendency. When I help the country, our president left from here, he was going to come back. He went to American working for body. And when point there, he went to work for body. That's the president. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Let's talk to other callers. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, this is Diana. So I was taking you on saying like very much.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. First, let me say thank you for the conversation this morning. You know, as I listen to you, I admire how you try to become, opposition leaders who are pointing out about the whole drug issue. I think you also forget to mention that even Martin Kool, who supported this specific government, also pointed out that officials of the government are into drugs.
Let's think. This accusation, counter accusation. What we want is this. And if people know these people, what the essence of hiding them? Help government. Let's see these people. Let's name and shame these people. Let these people face persecutions. What the essence of just saying official, and we can you're not coming forward with the real name.
We also have former Director General of the CLTA, all right, Mr. Popper, declared that the executive is taking on those five jobs because all this ranking government, the executive branch is involved in the jobs. So it is difficult.
So why they can't name these people? Why they are not naming these people? Why? No. You should be asking yourself, because if you were based on speculation, if you were based on speculation, you see, that's the point. That's the point. That your funny organization you established called Justice. That's why the other man called me yesterday to talk to me behind the scene. And I just tried live. I said, look, I got issue with anybody. You see, you people are not helpful to this country. What are the Martin Collio, the George Weah, the Alexander Comio, the Joseph Baker, whatsoever? If they know exactly whoever involved into this thing, Liberians want to know. That guy is saying in a public, say government official. Who are those? Why are you afraid? They get a protection, the Witness Protection Agency. They will protect you. Liberians want to know. Do you know how many young men Fisher have been robbed because of this same thing? And you just come to the disco and say, oh, they know government officials of government. You say the president advisors are the one who drink cocaine. Which one of the advisors? Stephen Freeman, show up. Which one of them? Let's see them and have them prosecuted or their homes be searched. But we can't continue to just be making these kind of ideas. Only because people want to hear you talking, you come in this public space and you just talk and say that government officials doing these things. Who are those? Who are the government officials? That blanket statement, you just put it on everybody. Let's get to know these people. $100 million worth of drugs came here. At the end of the day, we could not hold anybody liable. We went to court, we never had sufficient evidence. That kids, those people were set free. Money that was taken away from them, the government was instructed to give back the people money. Even we gave the money back, but the money was still not corrected. Today, we discovered $19 million worth of drugs at the airport about to leave this country. Who carried that? Who behind those things? We need to know them. It's not to pamper them. It's to make sure that these people are exposed. Because that's the only way you can damage, you can destroy the cartel. But if we just be speaking, official in this thing, and at the end of the day, it's still not solving the problem. We're still not getting to the bottom line. How do we destroy the cartel? Who are those involved? I mean, nobody should be untouchable into this investigation. But we can't just continue to hear former presidents speak, say that official, the one political leader will speak, that official, and all of these things. It's not helping us. It's not helping us. We need to get to the bottom of this thing here and know who are those destroying the next generation. Because almost every family affected by this thing. We can't just continue to listen to people speaking. And when these people are invited to come and speak, the next thing somebody say that political wish home. They're going after the people. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, Jones came back to the body. You know, there's something all continuing to base within this entire trust issue. We continue on this now. And let me just say to the government, we will not get tired. We will highlight the issue. First, let me say to my people in the unit, we want to know how the drugs enter this country. Did it enter through our free port of Monrovia? Did it enter through Iraq International Airport? Or did it enter through our land border? We have to know. So the government has to come out there to tell how these drugs enter. But indeed, what they have come out say, there will be.
So what about those who are already saying that they know people who are doing this thing? Can they help with the investigation? Because we need to get out. Because if we know people that are sitting in position and are doing these things, they are not doing the government well and they're not doing the Liberian well. So if people sitting and just making accusations and not showing all these people, then are they helping? In no way they're helping. They're just speaking because they want to speak. Because we want to see the cartel dismantled. Let people be named and shamed and face prosecution. And not just about saying, oh, government officials. Who are those? You know, it's not just about, oh, we want to see. Now people telling us they know the people that do anything. Let them help to give us the names of these people. Let's be honest to ourselves. Because from time past, we suffered the same thing. People were just pointing finger, accusing people. Oh, they're the other person. So it's just the same old thing that we just decided to play with. And because somebody was accusing somebody yesterday, so you just come to repeat, to accuse somebody, just leave it like that. At the end of the day, we don't have a solution to the problem, no bottom line. How do we handle this matter? This is beyond politics. But if we start to put politics in almost everything, without helping, look at a lot of the young potential young men and women today who are in the streets. They're in the slums, they're in the ghettos, and other places. And we give people position. What are the representative, the senator, the advisor, the mayor, the superintendent, the minister? Because you sit in one position, so you think you got that authority to straight drugs. You trafficking it. And they're affecting a lot of young men and women. And you know these people. So why you hiding there? What you hiding? You hiding there. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to the team. Let me say something. Who are talking? Not everyone is a brother. Do you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone is a brother. Some of you women have drop in the country that is out of policy. So much more person is independent. But their freedom of speech in this country is one more problem. There is a time the internet is good, and all the other things are all about. Don't forget, if you fight these people, there's too much freedom of speech in this country. You don't get all this. Why I was here, I want to say it all. Or they can be normal when they are affected. They can be normal. Whatever I'm looking at, they're going to better. So our leader, I don't know how much you want to be friendly. There is a common person about the thing with the company. You want to be president that will have problem. We want to win people who are fighting to protect. We're not making say our we made another they don't got one of them. They too sad to say our blood because they speak. They can get one answer to that. But the energy for the people, they got what we want. They can just say they don't after the people are more. And the Bible says that lack and death of the story. They are saying that before the people they want these people better. I'm so sad. Thank you.
Yeah, let's talk to other callers of the line. Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome, my brother.
Thank you for the question. For me, I just want to make a what is Napo State? The former president is the Napo State. What is the Napo State? Napo State is a state that the economy is controlled by a drug cartel.
Yeah, but that's what I said earlier. And so if we know these people, because the picture now we're getting, that people getting about our country, the way it's being described, is something that should concern almost every one of us to make sure that this thing is dismantled, because investors will not come to Inago State. So you telling us the economy is in the hands of the cartel.
So that is another thing right there. And for me, as a lady woman, I know that Nigeria economy is not controlled by drugs cartel. I know that the British is not controlled by drugs cartel. I know that the security is not controlled by drugs cartel. So let the president and who are going to maintain who are going to the power of the drugs there, so that we don't get a whole thing.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you for being part of the conversation. Let me talk to this caller on the line. Good morning.
Good morning, Wiki.
Good morning, sir.
I want to say thank you for the show. I always follow your show and the silent listener.
Okay, it's good to have you today.
Yeah. You know, all these things people can say is good. But we have to have a day or a month or a whatever or reconciliation. All everything boils down to reconciliation.
I think so.
We are not sincere to our stuff.
Sure. I think, and most of the time, the kind of a statement when it comes when you do it further divide us as well.
Nobody want to take what we do out there. Don't believe this.
Okay, sorry, the line is breaking in, but I think he made a point there, because all of these things boil down to division. All of these things has to do with hate, because since it happened to the other person, it's supposed to happen to the other person. You hear somebody say no, and the other person, how do we get from one stage to another to resolve some of these things and get, because on a united front, we can have these things dismantled. Anything other than that, we will not be able to achieve it. Good morning. Good morning. Let's talk to other callers. You live.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm actually for the discussion this morning, because this is a national issue that we all have to address with everything. But then we see some of our political leaders are coming out with some of the statements from the government is that the way in which our security apparatus are coming in with the just business. Because if you, as the justice minister who is over the case, you appear at the legislatures and the representatives decide to ask some questions. They were asked that you go in your executive sessions, and some of them refused, but they asked the technical questions and your concerning just issues. But then instead, they did not expose any more names, because in all manner of investigations, few days later, after public pressures, they came back with another thing by calling names of what people of interest, which means there's interest. So what you put into the people's mind, that means there are people who things are only trust issues. So one is the executive, and you don't want to call their names. So you expect whatever you are able to get in mind that other people want to come back to power, citizens want to come back to power, because you know that a winner party campaign with drugs.
But are you also aware that when you make this accusation, you're supposed to provide evidence and proof for that? Is it because somebody did it yesterday, which was never right, so we should see ourselves repeating these things? Because this drug selling is affecting almost all of the families in this country. So if people know these people who are doing these things, what the essence are you sitting there and say you're waiting for government to call a name when you know the names? Bring the people names up and let them be called to book. Or they're using a drug matter to sell themselves for political attention and political relevance. What's the reward in it when we see our young brothers, our sisters, the future getting better day is just diminishing? Then we still take politics. We and trade it with the drug matter when we know people who do this thing. The people are here calling people names. They say officials of government into it. Let them calling people names. So what we calling international community do what? When we know now, people telling us they know the people who do these things. Why? So what we waiting for? I can't really understand y'all. Good morning.
Morning, they're crying for money every day. They don't call international community to get money to pay them. I want to ask one question, Amazon.
They see them for money, what talking, what a farm. How much you want to need that flow on the farm in your favorite countries? Because he's talking about agriculture. So we have one particular who produce food in this country. When the president is talking to produce food, the president won't come back, what a farm. How much person you got on the farm in flow? When people get to one gallery, they check, they start to know here, people that find their more attention from where they're supposed to think of what going on in the country. The man who told us that we have failed this country, that the man went to go big kilo, speak up to the community, they think gamble our lives. You know, something that surprised me. Why you want to be a president for that God? You know that God history. He said, the people that found a road project, thank you. Who is those found road project? When we are out of all that thing they are done. So the people that play what was left, they come in try to know what you're looking for. Thank you, Rudy.
Thank you for being part of the conversation. Let me talk to this caller on the line. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you for the show, man. The follow and every man, I was talking about party in the country. I followed the 100% like people want to be able to talk. In terms of the right and that, in the presence of the decision to fight drugs and women is very difficult. Fighting drugs is a collective effort. If you be collective effort on both sides, when people say we send their political party, somebody will come and say, oh yeah, because you the other side, 100 million drugs team, so the other person not getting right.
Yeah. We always go back to look for something to defend, to fall on and defend, because yesterday that it affected the country. Our international partner was shocked with all of the information that they gave us. We could not state prosecute people to have them convicted for bringing such amount of drugs in this country. At the end of the day, people were scot-free because we never had sufficient evidence. We put politics into it. We're seeing the other $19 million worth of drugs again. We bring politics into it. At the end of the day, then people say,
everything is political and everybody wants to protect their side. Instead of all coming together to fight this stuff collectively as a nation, we have to really, somebody wants to protect a political party as the president, whatever with the experience, thing what the older man. I think, we pray that God will give it out wisdom to unite this country, because in the after or related now, we're not going nowhere with this fight. We just make noise and when I was talking, everybody will protect their side. We're not going anywhere in our country to make it damage internationally. So I think we will be this on this. Too much of defense party and speak the reality, speak to the issue, then defend it, because it's defending society, don't let go and that can go anywhere. Thank you for putting in the time.
you're welcome. Let's talk to this caller on the line. You're live.
Good morning, information.
Good morning, sir.
Information, bro. Of frustrated before we speak people. Once they frustrated, or men or women frustrated, always speak to society for attention. And there are no impact on your on the society. What's the impact? What's the help that you give it to society? If you really know you got family, I'm not talking about your mom or your mom, brother or sister. You got the entire citizens that are your family, and they are suffering from 30 people and you call it that. You only put in their own 30 group of people because you're talking about gossip. It's a government official, and you know what you, the man who's taking their thing. It's the full fighting. Who's not only because we did this, you can help the government. But to beat the war, to say things, you always talk like a gossip. Like a woman and two women who own that. When a few other men are thinking, why when our former president always talk like a little child? You speak it out. Don't think of a frustrated man. You can help a society. You can go over there when you go in other things, you go talk for your son. When you go play a thing, I tell our grand people, I'll go look for my son or a job. But when you come, things that will stop the citizens, that will stop a parent that are kept in the graveyard. and think about it. Say that and become as a leader. But when you can't, you are left of gossip. You just go on media. That's it. They start it. They start whatever you start it.
All right.
I'm going to picture like you know.
Yeah, probably these people got these people names. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to be somewhat careful according to something. But I think it's the number 2 months or something.
Please go ahead, sir.
Let me appreciate you for the long term. You know, that bureau, especially the school I always did, former president, yeah, he's the only man I love to contribute to them, but all of them. How did you be able to, you left on the power yesterday? You get somebody on the national platform, especially people are listening to you as a past president, former president. You'll be speaking in a way that you can speak in a way that will save the country. You'll just speak in a way that at the end of the day will sabotage the country in a way that you will be able to steer the investors to come in the country. I think sometimes people got to be able to see our attitude, especially concerning about the political taking over the country. And always for them, always say, the former people that we will always talk about. Because they go all they get money for that. They are all in rich. So anything they do, they don't bother them. I will be the one. But at the end of the day, whenever election reach, they will use us. At the end of the day, to stand behind and to celebrate them, to be able at the end of the day to show them the power. Whosoever that feel that environment are closer to them, they don't want to benefit. We are far away from them, we will not be able to benefit anything. So the only thing for me I can say, any of our common things that must be able to reduce our day. This thing of me behind the politician and every time to be celebrating and to be adding, saying all our things to be using, all our song or to give us to destroy the world that they not taking up. They're not helping us. Let us see our man and our attitude at the end of the day will give us to enjoy the country and to keep our common politician every time. Thank you very much for coming on the flag. I appreciate you.
Thank you for being part of the conversation this morning. You light.
Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you, Wiggy. This is Aaron Johnson.
You're welcome, sir.
Thanks for the talking point. Something I want to say is for the performance man. We are Christian. Wow, the form people are always the pleasure of us. Understand them. So it is today out of program that is good for quality can be instead of the country and nobody ever knows. We got only the one our country and yesterday this quality thing always say because the other post like so we're going to get the one out today. The one that out today and that thing well the big. Well, all call on the station and it's trying to take measure of the whole transition of why it won't be bad. So the conversation, the big of peace, the whole issue, that was not that call, then stop them calling off the person's age. But yesterday, this thing was
we did not support this thing yesterday. You talk about being a Christian. No, you talk about being a Christian. My man, please listen now. I'll give you a chance for you to talk. You talk about being a Christian. You talk about being a Christian. So should we continue to tread in a wrong path? How do we correct some of the wrongs yesterday for today? Okay. Thank you for your interpretation of the Bible. You say you're Christian. I don't even know what kind of Christian you are because everything you're saying now, that's a lie. Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you. That's what it means.
Please go ahead.
You know, I made people still for long. And that's what professor means. If you can recall, the first prophet stuff on the street. They had put that someone who was president from the college. I mean, now after. You know what they get when they give up on that. They can recall. You have that company. I don't know, you know, the world to eat, whatever, but starting. When you put it on that, you're going from another type of economy. You know, these are people that come to say this to us, solution. What the DFCC report, what that was, I asked him through it. What would they
Okay, thank you. Thank you. You know, let me say something today. And I think this is something that has been a serious problem for us over the years. We always think that we need to correct the problems with the very thing that created the problems. And this is where we have always had that mistake. And Liberians. And that's the reason why most of our problems have not been solved, have not been addressed for the government in the past, the present. Because you, the ordinary people who will bring these people to power, you go to the length to defend them and defend the wrongs, even though you see it. So because there's somebody say, because the Bible says do unto others. So, I mean, then you call yourself Christian? What are you correcting? What level of education you providing for the next generation? So you're telling them that the people didn't want, so do it too. They did it to the other person. So how do we correct these things? How do we have the next generation educated? Now look, when people do these things, maybe they did it all ignorant, knowing it or unknowing it, you can continue to trend in that path. Let us have it corrected. Yeah. Let us have it corrected. Because somebody stood in the street and openly abused one president, mother, or his wife, or he himself. So it means that that path should just continue. It's the same that we see today, people talking about the issue with Prophet Key in jail. Because Prophet Key sat on his platform, he insulted people at will, and whatsoever. Nobody did anything to him. I mean, to correct that wrong, he did it to somebody who did not let it go. And said, no, you must be disciplined. So how do we correct some of these things? We talk about corruption. Every day people talk about, oh, the people stealing money. The people stealing money. As soon as you go for one person to face prosecution for some level of allegation on them that they took money, the very people who been crying are the ones who turn out in the numbers to go and protect these people. Liberians, what do you want? What really do you want? We need to know, what do you really want? You cry, oh, the hospital ain't got no drugs. The people taking the drugs, no bed. But the very people will say take the same drugs, carry to their homes, carry to the drugstores, the pharmacy, or other places. When you call somebody, we just saw a recent time when the former executive manager in chief of protocol, Madam Bono, Fina Bono, when she appeared to the court, we saw mothers, praying mothers. They were there with her. Just the other day again, when she went there, again, they were there. One of the persons who were, you listen to the kind of insults that came from that woman. So how do we correct some of these things? Because it's the same, the style of politics that we got in this country, we think it's helping us. Because as soon as the United Party leaves power tomorrow, they go back in the opposition, they will come back and start to do the identical things that people doing today. At the end of the day, you have these very same people who can call. They will say, but any day to the people. So that how do we correct these things? Abnormal thing, you see Liberian making it look like it's normal because somebody did it yesterday, so you're supposed to do it. I don't know how people fine-tune these things. I don't know how you see yourself to be in Liberia, nationalistic and patriotic. You look at the wrongs and you want to bring all the justification for something that is wrong. It's the same we're talking about the drugs business. Somebody will tell you, well, the 100 million drugs are killing no collect anybody. But the foreign people took them to court, but the government did not have sufficient evidence against the folks that they took. So the government lost that case. The entire world was shocked to see a size of the country called Liberia and the population here that we $100 million worth of drugs got to this country. Interpol and the U.S. government, other people gave her intel. It was seized at the free port of Monrovia. How did it get here? What was said that was on that continuum? How did it get here? It was seized. 200,000 were collected from the folks to leave from there, take the money to the central bank. 30,000 got missing from there. That is behind us. We never corrected that. When the court acquitted the people, we had to look for interpreter to come to interpret somebody in Portuguese, in Spanish, and all of these things. We come back to another one. Right after the 100 million, another $40 million worth of drugs in. Today, you talk about cocaine at the airport. 19 million. We're hearing some of our folks telling us that officials of government. Who are those officials? Who are those officials? And somebody will tell you that freedom of speech. If you look at specifically Article 15 of our Constitution, which guarantees the right to express opinions without interfering, but it also comes with full responsibility. That under that issue of freedom of speech, there are things that are there that you can do and you cannot do. So if you call somebody a rogue, you must be able to prove it. When you malign somebody's character, you should be in the know that that person can sue you and you should be willing to defend what you say. So if people come in to tell us that advisors around the president are the ones who's doing cocaine, officials of government are the ones who are leading the trafficking of cocaine or drugs, and you think just saying it should be like that? These are not ordinary people just saying these things. They might just be on top of the game. They might just be on top of the information. That they got the information. So support government help. You want to come to power, or you want to return to power, and you know these people. Because we know the danger. We know exactly what these things are doing to the young people. Do you know what it means? For somebody to wake up and leave the comfortable room and go to the gravesite and decide to sleep there. Sleep in a market kitchen. You can take that for 2-3 days. There's somebody making huge money out of it. While lives being destroyed. Go to the grave sites. Some of the songs that should have been sung are beneath the earth now. Some of the books that should have been written and today we should be reading, the young potential guys never had a chance because they fell prey to illicit drugs. And you know these people. And you say like say government will call the people, government will call the people. And somebody will come back to defend that. Ain't happening in the past, any other people attending the policy. So how do we get this thing corrected? So even in your homes, you Liberians. So even in your homes. And that's the reason why you see today we are faced with a lot of societal problems. Oh, my charging Steve, somebody is telling you, you are not even taking your time to observe the child. Until one morning you wake up and hear that they found one body and you run in there, you go and see your child being mocked because you went to steal. So because people told casket and said that Joseph Brother was in a casket, it means that Unity Party people too should work together one morning and say that one political leader in casket, they start talking and say that the person, you know, these kind of things. So because somebody made something that is affecting the society, where every one of us, we are affected. And you come to put the cannibal defense because somebody did it yesterday. How do we have this thing corrected? How do we have these things corrected? You know, we really need to step on our games.
Against the law. There was drug that was arrested at the airport. Nobody arrested, nobody house surrounded. But former members of the opposition, former members of the past government, they have arraigned them at the court. They've dragged them to court. They've sent police to arrest them. They've done all kinds of things. I'm saying to you, when we come to power in 2029, you know, during the time of President Toba, they had government farm in Grand Jida. Those of you that are young don't know that.
You know that.
The prisoners from Central Prison, they used to bring them to work on the farm. Yes. Pueka and Kool and those guys will come here to make farm for you to eat. We will bring Pueka here so that he can work for the first time on the farm to know what it is to work for money. And I want to say to you that you are here is a good thing. And 83 years old Pueka to make them do things that they know are against the law. There was drug that was arrested at the airport. Nobody arrested, nobody house surrounded. But former members of the opposition, former members of the past government, they have arraigned them at the court. They've dragged them to court. They've sent police to arrest them. They've done all kinds of things. I'm saying to you, when we come to power in 2029, you know, during the time of President Toba, they had government farm in Grand Jida. Those of you that are young don't know that.
You know that.
The prisoners from Central Prison, they used to bring them to work on the farm. Yes. Pueka and Kool and those guys will come here to make farm for you to eat. We will bring Pueka here so that he can work for the first time on the farm to know what it is to work for money. And I want to say to you that you are here is a good thing. And 83 years old Pueka to make them do things that they know are against the law. There was drug that was arrested at the airport. Nobody arrested, nobody house surrounded. But former members of the opposition, former members of the past government, they have arraigned them at the court. They've dragged them to court. They've sent police to arrest them. They've done all kinds of things. I'm saying to you, when we come to power in 2029, you know, during the time of President Toba, they had government farm in Grand Jida. Those of you that are young don't know that.
You know that.
The prisoners from Central Prison, they used to bring them to work on the farm. Yes. Pueka and Kool and those guys will come here to make farm for you to eat. We will bring Pueka here so that he can work for the first time on the farm to know what it is to work for money. And I want to say to you that you are here is a good thing. And 83 years old Pueka to make them do things that they know are against the law. There was drug that was arrested at the airport. Nobody arrested, nobody house surrounded. But former members of the opposition, former members of the past government, they have arraigned them at the court. They've dragged them to court. They've sent police to arrest them. They've done all kinds of things. I'm saying to you, when we come to power in 2029, you know, during the time of President Toba, they had government farm in Grand Jida. Those of you that are young don't know that.
You know that.
The prisoners from Central Prison, they used to bring them to work on the farm. Yes. Pueka and Kool and those guys will come here to make farm for you to eat. We will bring Pueka got here so that he can work for the first time on a farm to know what it is to work for money. And I want to say to you that you are here is a good thing. And 83 years old Barker to make them do things. Barker is a man, he doesn't keep his promises. Somebody told me a few months ago that their father and Barker went to school ECWA. And the father and Barker had an altercation. Several years later, almost 50 years later, this young man, Barker, has something against him because of his father. Grand Junior County, Swedru is laid out because of Samuel Doe. But that's not the same for Foya. For Foya, the only major development is Barker drug money, $12 million house. That's the man that you made president of this country. And we are saying we're going to change that. On one day, they say, well, the opposition not united. But then, CDC is having...
The president, Joseph Yuma Barker, relieving of his official duty as ambassador of lives on special duties. And it sprang from the House of Representatives, who unanimously voted to have vote of no confidence in the former ambassador serving as an official of government. And so, in the wisdom of the president, on June 8th, in a communication from the president, President Boakai, to that of Sheikh Kuyateh, he told Kuyateh that releasing him of his position stemmed from the public statement that was attributed to him concerning the House of Representatives, along with subsequent communication from the body expressing vote of no confidence in his continuous service. So, according to them, the House passed the vote of no confidence on June 4th over what members described as corruption allegations made without evidence, which they said put the integrity of the lower house and the legislature at stake. So for that reason, there was vote of no confidence to have him serving in the government. You see, and we come back to say some of these things. We hear people telling us, you see, allegation leveled against the lawmakers that they go sign concessions, they take bribe, and they do a lot of other things. So for so many reasons, people think that they are corrupt. And so when Sheikh said it, they requested him to make clarity, to apologize. He stood by his word. At the end of the day, because vote of no confidence, the president had nothing to do. So Sheikh Kuyateh posted over the weekend, the former ambassador, he defended the statement that led to his dismissal and pushed back again, called for him to stay quiet after criticizing the legislature. He said he will not. And this is exactly what he wrote. He said, when I began to speak, they frowned at me. When I asked why they frowned, they said, you cannot be part of the government and speak for the people. Then I asked, can there be a government without people? No one responded. And that's why he wrote. He said, I am told that we are here for the truth. How can truth be told in the midst of silence? As long as I breathe, I will not submit my voice to silence. That's why Sheikh Kuyateh said. So, because of that, and he said he had no evidence on the allegation of corruption, so he was released of the post because the vote of no confidence in the president had not to do anything but to have him relieved of the post. Now, the people who are saying to people vote of no confidence. Now, is a new allegation leveled against this identical government and that of the legislature. We are told that the 200 million that was signed for the solar meter is being distributed among government officials, and that allegation was made by former Assistant Minister of Finance, Kool.
And Ambassador, you know, this is one point where folks are getting somehow disappointed about this president. You know, folks here that are saying disappointment in the government or this president. But you know, if for reasons, you know, check is not working. I'm just talking before I go to this for one thing. One way, they don't know in Liberia, we'll be talking about issues in the country like something like that. Look, check is not working for the House. You know, that decision came from the president, as a matter of fact. We know by all means, for all indication, that check is under the executive branch of government, appointed by the president. And if you listen to the speech that was given by Sheikh at the Italian parliament, Sheikh wasn't speaking of Liberia alone. He spoke on Africa because it was the issue of African migration. Why Africans, the influence of Africans going outside? Why? How can they mitigate those issues? And Sheikh was saying it's because of the resources in Africa. If there's equitable distribution, the folks will not come. If the people are having the best schools in Africa, they will not come to Europe. They will not fight across the Mediterranean Sea. They will not cross the Sahara Desert. They will not cross. They will not risk their lives.
So, Ambassador, so right now, I like the point you're making there. So now the legislature, because we've been told now that the president's advisors are the ones who doing cocaine. So with it now, so it's just something. Not that he's doing speculation, but you said the president's advisor.
Because so who the president who a lot of people around him, he can actually pay them, so they start getting some dubious gain.
But you heard the former president said that officials government who are trafficking these drugs. And what are these things should be a concern, or because somebody said they are corrupt, so you have vote of no confidence in them, and that's under the law. The president will have to not work with you because the first president of government is telling you that this person is no longer a presidential material.
No, Ambassador, I have an exception to that. Because there was other president who take exception to the House, the legislature. The president would have kept, Sheikh was in a very kind of position and shows that the president is a kind of running kind of government that's open.
And I seen Biden was the one who rejected Mary Broad.
Thank you.
When the former president Ellen, when she appointed her as a city mayor.
Yeah.
And they said vote of no confidence. In fact, she was not a presidential
and
or
she left as one of the longest.
And the president sent her right back to act. She acted as a mayor until she left.
When the president worked at the way of person of the president.
So is the president now submitting to the legislature, especially the lower branch of government? Is this a test that they could even go more after somebody official of government? Why is they declare the minister of finance of vote of no confidence? So when the president
you listen to the recent statement by the deputy speaker onto one of the staff of the executive branch of government, the finance minister. You listen to that? When the president too said, let me go and move the finance minister from there, because one of the most powerful presidents in the country is saying this. You see, the president should be going that way. And should not be, you see, there's a reason why even Simon is saying that in the plane, they gain toffee, that let it call toffee, that it will be leaky, they gain sugar, so they keep, at the stage he slept. You see? But my point, let me go to Simon Freeman. Simon Freeman, we want that less than 2% law to be activated in this country by election commission. We want, let us know people in the country to talk about things like that. What is Simon doing about the Green Chile? Is he having DSTV in Green Chile? Eh? DSTV, is he giving away for DSTV? Or he waiting until he become president? He got all of issues. Street light, they want Ghanaians.
And if I got, sometimes they even lie to all the time. When setting down the table, when we subscribe, they'll give us extra 1 month.
They get away.
The last one you're complaining.
Right now, they get my money. They want 2 more money. They want a dollar. They tell me I'm going to lose that. You see?
I will tell you, I told you I experienced the thing the other time.
I'm not broke and trying to check in my said, then they go do that kind of thing to me.
And you were watching your game at the time.
Yeah, my man. The board told me say you got 9 days grace period. The second day they take it off.
I think it's time now in our country. Let me honest that when people are making somebody public statement, let them come with facts. Because if you're telling us that the president advisors are cooking better than I'm playing matter, let me meet people.
Bring issue for face right now. So it's serious.
So how can you be telling us?
So you're not talking about Kasawa. Simon don't have the ability, you don't have the ability to make Kasawa fine bench there.
He said he investing in other countries. Like business people talking there. So who are those business people that he also talking to be here?
Let me also tell Simon that he is not a presidential material. I'm saying it to him. According to the last presidential election 2022 result, Simon Freeman, they call him Freeman Senior CM MPC. The whole country, Liberia, 5.2 million and 7 million citizens are registered. I will call the number. He got 13,205. That's 0.72%. If I said it's a presidential material, let me tell you how many persons registered to the election. And it's sad for our country. Imagine we had 24 parties, 2,471,617 registered voters in the country. We have 2,080 polling precincts. We have 5,890 polling places in the country. Some people get they cannot vote. Somebody start talking about this. How would they get? Then the opposite you keep quiet. Some of them permanent they come talking. Sometimes they teleport and now they talking in a forum. When they're talking anything, so is it why one is people forgetting? That's our fun. So respond.
So is Simon Freeman is called today to provide evidence and point to people surrounding the president who are involved in the drugs? Will he be willing to come forward because the president talk about this matter in this cartel?
You will not wait.
That's when he goes down and at the end they say that political wage on top.
Simon Freeman will say the government has waged war on opposition. You will not say one no, you will say opposition.
You know,
these were the same people that told that Joe was not competent to be president.
Yeah.
2023, they were running to unseat him. See the kind of voting got in the whole country. Even the most of our county residents are using the DSTV.
You know the party chairman? You know the secretary chair, the youth chair. I mean, the party.
We don't even know about
so you call NPC that one more president.
That one when they call. That one businessman running up and down with one issue that is at the party. You see, no, Ambassador, you must have the pep talk. It's good that let me say for the lawmakers, every time we say they corrupt, they mean when they corrupt, they hard. So that whenever we're doing good, can't be, this one will divide it.
Yeah.
We'll sort out everything. In election, when I did election in 2005, they got sorting.
Yeah, they got sorting.
Yeah, they got sort out.
Yeah.
So you see, we will sort the entire lawmakers, the former those people who are presidential candidate who ran on the political party tickets or independent, we will sort them out. And by the 2%, less than 2% law, the election commissioner, Jonathan Widow, thank you. You're a typical Liberian man. I want to back to check where your grandparents from. Widow. Let me tell you something. You said to us that where applicable, you will make this law be applied. The 2%. We don't want to see Simon political party coming back to 2029. We don't want to see him.
And you know that.
Because you get 0.72%, then you can't back over the corridor talking all around and thinking that you're somebody. Then you talking about, how will you speak to the president like this? The president age, if I said, when somebody don't play, who can tell us sleep or don't sleep? Now the president will. Let me relax. I'm on a long flight. This is why when I sleep.
Say they get it, man, out by the place. Yet instead he fell asleep. You know, are these things like people want to hear?
That's not why I want to blow.
How many persons you got in your employ? You want to be the president? You want to be president? What? Let's look at your capacity.
Yes. Yeah. Let's look at
the impact you have. You talk about the economy, not in Liberia, but you're a businessman. What are you bringing in?
You're supporting other economies.
Yeah.
You're not supporting other businesses here.
Ibada, let's listen to the man again. He exposed himself.
President should have an office, but should the president's office
that you made president of this country, and we are saying we're going to change that. On one day they say, well, the opposition not united, but then CDC is having a celebration. We've come together, and the same people say, but what are they going to do there? So we will not listen to them.
You see, you'll be almost like your man that is smoking the boom in the shit.
Yeah, I know. Man.
Yeah, that one you have run the president for. Smoke your boom outside where you want to see the product see you when you come out, you have even what then. Like people. Why would you do that? Where would the president office be? By the structure of Liberia government.
Okay, he spoke about agriculture. What's the agriculture you're involved in?
What are you doing? If you ask this Simeon Freeman, when was the last time he was in Grangeville County? He would tell that during the election campaign. I don't know whether he even did it.
Don't forget that this man was accused of sexual assault before.
You're talking small, brother. I think small thing. You see? And they all wonder, you see, I see why, more reason why Jovia boycotted the people, not only because of the party ambassador, because of the people that are moving around. Because you know what? All of them want you show on former president we are. You can get 0.72%. Then you want mingle with somebody. Look, I think what you're talking about, President we are. I don't know, maybe he's a human. He his own way where he did it before with Winston Todman. That even as that comments. Look at people like Tewa Komulu. They have 1.44%. Brown Allen will come jump around the corridor around here, be jumping around. He gets 0.85%. That the point of view talking to governance.
And the man or Simon Freeman.
Oh yeah, the man was member. Tewa Komulu was member. Brown Allen Brown Jr. or Simon Freeman. You see that? The only put in order talk and not talk here with the grape. The charge of tuner, and they put it all on Senior Freeman. You see, the leading opposition political party before they would run up got 43.83%. So you yourself, CDC, that they put in one bigger way. How much vote you get from the person? 0.72%. Look, let the election commissioner, under the watchful eyes of Jonathan Wider, implement the election laws. We have the election result of 2023, less than 2% should not contest. We don't want whole barrage of funny people that will make things look like this.
Hey, Ambassador,
on a serious note,
this allegation now,
it's huge.
It's huge on the government.
Who is missing poor because of no confidence. I said something on the radio, and the other man called me and said, Nadia, I said something that maybe the people are listening. Look, I said this. I said this 19.2 million cocaine street value in Liberia. Because I know that, let me tell you provide information that the first 30 million perceived, 8 million perceived that passed through the port. We're hearing that it was not cocaine. We're hearing that the people in Heathrow, they are saying that what they received is not cocaine. That different things that goods they receive. So that one no. I said, let me go to this. This President Joseph Yuman Boakai, if he ever doubted anything in his life, he must doubt that 19.2 cocaine case that he on. Because they see, opposition will campaign on it for a removal. On a first serious note, he should not. That's why I said the first thing they are going to miss out in needy people. There is no investigative team that already have themselves already on ground that know these things that will not call for who are responsible. We say no, let's wait. No! Cocaine, let's talk about a drug. Whether it's a marijuana or so, it is not a receipt business, an invoice business. It is not such a business. Let me tell you something. That while the man, even you, when the 3 year rush in the ghetto, I said this. When the DA rush together, even the men that got a B here will chop it down. And when the DA come, I'm getting that in my hand. You will not tell the man say it's on the ground it's for you. You will not say it's here near him. The only reason why they hold is because you are in the ghetto. They hold you. The thing is, if you are dealing with evidence-based per document on drugs, you will not. It is prudent that the FDA, the Joint Security, make a massive search on individuals suspected and catch them pens down. That's the only way you catch drug dealers. When you catch them on hand in their house, that's the only way you can hold them. That's the only record you ever do. But you say you won't go, the drug dealer had the passes, that's a lie. And this drug thing, this person is dealing with, if you overlook it, he will see himself somewhat different on a very serious note. Because the others are learning. He said he doesn't want to become a president, but he wants to be a leader. The one that coming behind him or after him want to become a leader. And the leader going to show example. The issue of integrity that lays on. Integrity that lives on. It's very important. So when you have any kind of allegations, those who contested the presidency with you, let me tell you something. One thing that I see that the president is not seeing, even the advisors, Sheikh should not be somebody the president would have held as such. You and Sheikh have never had this kind of issue. Sheikh is both speaking out. Why can't you tell Sheikh this? Sheikh doesn't work for the house. Sheikh Atmosphere could out there work for you, the executive. And Sheikh wasn't saying anything bad. Is it not true that concessions that are signed are not in the interest of the people who are the custodians of the resources? How many concessions have been signed? Let's check way back. The Lanco days. The BMC, let's check back. What have Liberia benefited? We still yet crying about roads. Everybody talking about road. I know they don't have road to ride or drive or walk on. But they will take the millions of dollars and tell us that they want to build roads, and today we are still suffering on roads. Where are our millions? We are rich. The concessions are being signed. The iron ore. Where's the benefit? You see? Where is it? The diamonds. Where is it? The gold. Let's check in Liberia and say, yes, the concessions are being signed. This one has built this, has made this possible. Oh, the health sector in Liberia is okay because of the diamond deal that was signed by the government. It has helped. Where is it? The gold have helped our education sector. Because our education today is set. Our children are living in a zero life when they should have been accepted to go and attend these institutions funded by government. Where is it? If you go to a university like Liberia, cheers as a little, it's a problem. Where are we? Eh? Look at concessions are being signed. There are some lawmakers that don't even identify themselves with concessions. The government boasted of providing jobs. Where is the Ministry of Labor? Is it the work permit they gave the folks out? Is it the rest and the Director General have been so key on this issue? And I've said, let the Labor Minister bring the names, the records, the amount of job in a category he has given out. Let's see it. Up to today's date, has that happened? Well, how are we living? How? Sometimes it's good that we say these things that folks understand or know that this is happening in our country. We can't continue like this. It's hurting Liberia. You see? It's a similar thing. Look at the last time, the people who put in vote of no confidence. They sent the bill to them to establish the bill to establish the War Economic Crime Code. What were they saying? That they will wait until December. When the court should start functioning by November. The war crime court should start functioning by November. And the economic crime court should start functioning by 2027 November. With a serious timeline on it. There was a pressure. And they said, oh, the team, with Jala Babu and his team, they not presented the bill. They presented the bill to the president. The president forwarded this bill to the House. Now, when there were issues, they came up and said, let's see how things are. Why are we treating this country like this? And listen, the way they are doing the crab and fisherman mentality. Muddy the water, and you catch the fish. Bring it up or down, and you will go up. You see that? So all those who are fronting for the presidency are saying, in the crab basket, let's bring the president down, we will go up. Then when the president goes there, they do want to bring it down, they go up. And Liberia still lies suffering up on. Imagine that. If I even check the District 4 lawmakers have more votes than Simeon Freeman. The District lawmakers of District 4. Let me be serious here. Why we tell the young people what is better holding the lives of these people? The only way, except when they become president, and the only way they can help the country. He's one person doing business. Said he bought a TSTV. How many businesses is he doing in this country that are helping Liberians? On a wider scale, and say, yeah, that man, when he became president, he will work in this direction. We already struggling. We are struggling. One man said he did soccer. He went to the highest. Let's bring him there. Like, bro, rise today where we shall seeing ourselves at the World Cup. Where are we? The African competition, we are even close to it. We said, let's bring one old man who is studying agriculture. Today, where are we? We still looking at different things. The he's about agriculture. He's a businessman. What is he doing? Jesus Christ. This country, our leaders, oh Jesus, oh Lord. They will kill us in this country. They will make us out of nothing. And they all want to make themselves clean. You listen to the Arizona comments yesterday. If you just listen to Arizona comments with the retired campaign, the retired suffering at the Samuel Canada Sports Complex, where one of his aides was found in possession of illegal arms. You see that? Reportedly. He said George Weah will gain 110 to be a 110 president. Today it is the George Weah, the CDC, that he wants to go. He is telling the program and saying things to them. Where are we with these people? Jesus Christ. Where are we? And I will say this is Liberian. The crab and the fisherman mentality is what Liberians are doing. It is really the common man who will wake up and see the fights and see what's going on. We will hear the president tell us he is not concerned about 2029, but his principal deputies are the one campaigning for 2029. We will support the president. We will support the president, and he's there listening to them. Jesus. Good morning. Let's go to the lines and talk to you and take a few calls this morning. Welcome. 0775-919-919. We have to be true to ourselves and the way in which we are with the nation. If Liberia shall get better, we need sincere men and women with integrity that work for the people. Because it's no longer about you. A lot of you have already succeeded. It's like, work for your family, you got it. But what influence are you having with your neighbor? Some of you claim to be what you have today, but check right outside your gate. There are people there suffering. What are the impacts? What are the impacts you are making? What are the influential processes? Where? What? The current government will say the former government says it. The past government, they come with this. What are the impacts? The CDC knew that hell that were holding gathering. that people won't faint or will faint that the gathering you saw there. And everybody want to use a prayer mentality. Let's put the government down, let's put the people down. You see? We can't be like this. If you see right now, what's happened, let me just divert a little bit to South Africa. You all have been watching and reading upon. The folks, the xenophobic attitudes have gotten into the folks to even the government himself have been overwhelmed with this situation. But what happened? Today, as you speak, clock the deadlines for folks. What happened there? Let me just inform you that folks, their own member, this is a big cover, that's the Zulu tribes. Their own member are now saying that folks should keep their shops open. Nobody's going to hammer them. That is be sensible and responsible and law abiding. Because there were people, though there was in this alarm of people being illegal into South Africa, there were reports that people were there illegally, and there were people there legally. And some of those who were there legally said to them, I have my documents, my papers are correct. Let me be here. They said, no. Go to your country and fix your country. Go there. You see what's happening? You see what's happening in the African region? And when these politicians are confusing Liberians, when our leaders that have come to power suffer with identity issue or integrity, you see what's happening? 0775 919 919 0880 919 919. Good morning and welcome. Let's talk to some of the folks. What do you make of Simon Fuma's statement? Now that the folks around President Boakai are the ones involved in the cocaine trade, because he has kept them so much in numbers, they are not getting paid, so some of them are getting involved in this aspect. Will the president now go and ask him people to bring results? Because this is a serious matter we are on right now. On a serious note, we heard that the man who said he turned himself over to help the government with the investigation and now saying other people. As when they go and calling, they ask their questions. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Nathaniel, and good morning to the peace loving people of Nigeria.
Yeah, go ahead.
That you are very off. What I can say for you is this station remaining a station of independence. And what you say to the graduate people today is all about the truth. The TDC has still on the United Party is purely on right order. As it is, will remain resolute and will make sure will be coming. But as an argument, there are not people who are not willing to get carried. What have you done to the Liberia? Thank you. Goodbye.
You're welcome. And right now, when you see what's going on today, the final day of other nationals leaving South Africa, Nigeria now is saying that South African business people in Nigeria, they say that nobody have a monopoly of violence. The newly elected Nigerian university students have now blown hot against the xenophobic attitude into Nigeria, in the South Africa. Now it becomes an issue. Will the government handle that? So when our leaders are speaking, that because we're too small in the country, so when they speak, some of they speak, and like, we just get enough people to rise up.
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning. Well, I want to say thank you for talking on this question. But I'm looking at it in two.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm speaking from Kiwi County, District 1. Jackson, William, and the first thing I'm looking at is that if some former officials or present officials are coming up to say that they know who all are bringing the drugs to the country. The first thing that the government should hear is that all your cabinet members, when you live in a house, and then you have your children will live in a house, you are the head, and then the host is accused. The first thing you hear is that all your children people are saying to us that was on our house. The two people really know about it, not aware, not part of it. When you say no now, then you put all the people that say those things to verify to a point and be able to clarify what they are talking about. For this thing that we're talking about the trust is that these things are happening so other people can go against other people. It's not that where I noticed.
But that's a clear mentality. Bring the person down so I can go up. When you go up, another person bring you down so they can go up.
So you see what I see here is that the whole deal for all Nigerians will come together and look ahead and see the main point. Now the political last minute, all people will come from United Party, they will go against CDC. CDC people will come on, they will talk things against United Party.
But the CDC is saying that it was the same strategy that was used by this government that it said they were the ones who bring in drugs. They were the ones manufacturing drugs, so it was a campaign statement used against them, and they outmatched them. Now they are in power. It is the same cocaine or drug issue that's on.
So if you look at the statement and look at the trend, then where are we going as Liberian? Where are we going as a country? Other countries are looking at us. You see, other friends out of the country now, they're checking their passport, they're checking their document. It's a problem for us. But now for us to come together and be able to sort out this situation, and not only the drug issue. The drug issue is just been there over and over and get exposed publicly now to see. Okay. But then there are other issues.
Okay, thank you. Let me talk to you. Thanks for being a part. Yeah, go ahead.
You know, there's division in Nigeria, politics and Nigeria, all boiled down to it's a decide taking of power. It's that really the country is looking at individuals. So we are listening to election after election in the country. One thing, what is saying that individual like that. Because they have NDP who say they have the CUP, they have the NDP. They have a different party, but when any party is power, I don't think what is saying about our president less power. I'm not going to support something agree that brings to me. I think it's not for CDC, anything, not to former president. And also that you have all the political words, the whole nation.
Yeah. My brother, you just said it right. That's a very key issue, very serious point. They love individual over the nation. Yeah. But you're not helping the situation. You want to identify the wrongs, where there are loopholes. But what are you doing? Good morning.
The mentality used yesterday by the party, and when the youth go and was from Ghana and brought in the town, trust me, they think that they can be with the other with the same thing you tell the party you said about that for it. The same thing you tell anybody. You sure I have worked for them for the past. Okay, I can see all of them they are responsible. They are the one who bringing the job in the country. The months there. You know that the the country. So, and then we evidence that the full business there, that the country is, is not okay. All this thing, they continue, we don't have coming home.
It's important. They too are Liberians, not because they want to become leaders, they are Liberians. So let them bring the fights.
The fact that the family crying for, let the fact come, if they get between the two, but let the fact be there, let the same will fight, and let the police not sit down and say, yeah, they want to put up with you, they don't want to see no. Not the men don't want to see, they are saying to them, but the country are coming to the image of the country internationally. So let them bring the fact. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is Pat Magazine Bibi.
Very well, thank you.
Okay. Always a pleasure having you on the line.
I call you from Western.
Yeah.
Western community remain people.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. Van, the government can easily find who responsible for this drug now.
It's very easy. You can find it.
People. The rich is very simple. Senior criminal is not a small man in this country. Yeah. It would not be like a little child to go and name somebody now within the corridor of power.
Yeah.
That's the president. And see, so if the John Secretary are very serious to get down to the bottom of it.
I think they start at John Secret, whole Secret Freeman. Secret Freeman come. You're very important in the investigation. Yeah. When I said to you that names into drugs is very important, folks said no, name not letting, because you cannot investigate drugs on paper. That names are individual, and you gotta hold them pens down. Let them help. Thank you, Mr. Bibi. Always following the program. Thank you. Let me talk to you. Good morning.
Good morning, man.
Good morning, sir. Yeah, everyone, Tamba.
Yeah, this is the brand I'm not calling about Finland.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. You know, in regard of Freeman, Freeman have to understand that to run a business, but all of Yanni to put it on the ELCC television to ELCC television.
Yeah, it was a short challenge.
He insisted until today, second community he refused to do it. So I don't know how he's having the brand to benefit from the business that he's doing. That was two. The second one was the drug issue. The president is allocated, the drug to the down last. Something delayed, vaccination grow. It is good to read the detail on camera. The airport has camera. Airport has teaching of weather. And this drug was transported in Pico. The airplane are there, the dog flower is there. Just to have time. Either a timeline so we can make the report to close this gap. Or else we'll be going against ourselves in the future when campaign comes. Just what the thing now, we need. They're not good to keep it too long. Let's be sure that all we are being added on all things. That we say, well, you look over the president and the problem. This problem is also easy. You can solve it. So, Mr. President, please give them time now. Let it come out of the report. Let's start this close. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ibrahim Tamba. And let me just inform you with it. I really, the whole drugs thing came out when I made my comment. All the folks said, one caller said, I changed gear. I did this. I just got to keep quiet in the process. Look, I said even the delay of the government on the drug issue poses a serious risk. It even deepen more the possibility of them having a result at the end of the day. Because why? Drug issue. It doesn't investigate drugs per document because there is no document on drugs. Listen, what the person who announced, who are named as one of the 10 persons who is at the very center of this whole thing, what it said, as a source of the cocaine. Because he said, I said a lot of people want to think that they reportedly he ever will come down. Paul King now, he identified the source of the cocaine and he is now seeking witness protection. You will also first, the first person who gave the source of the whole thing, and who broke the news at the airport, the witness protection came in and said, there's a need for witness protection. And this thing is just a litmus test for Liberia. Because look at the community. If the people live by a fence or a house, some of these people, they just furnish one nice house, nobody living inside, they can put their money in the house. Only the people who money in the house living there. But the real owner of the house don't live there. But they will come, enter the hot pot, clean the hot, go outside. If the community people know that man and they think he's bringing, going, he in drugs business, how can they wake up and tell the DA they need to be protected? And that's why witness protection came in and said it will be important that witness be protected. Now, Paul King is now saying he wants witness protection. He is not saying that he's a person of interest in the center of the whole thing, but he's saying he won't be a witness. Listen to how hilarious thing like that. That's what happening. When it happened, they said, no, we're not calling in. We're going to investigate. When outside source started produce names that had the names of Johnson, you listen, when even if you ask the question, they ask him, why you call the name now? Don't you think that this name you call him will place you put the hands away? He said, but they already outside. Listen, Paul King told the investigator that the drugs are given him by one man. One Mr. Rahim Ba on the 5th of June. You see the reason why I said to Liberians? The very day that they had an intel with the drugs and those who connected, the king, well, they knew that they already know that they have given the GLS a 25 years concession report. All king facilities should have been barricaded and searched. I've said that. Then the name Abdullahi, also who and a couple who involved in the logistics business. All these phones should have been barricaded and searched at the time. Traveling at time next time, go camp, let's sleep. No. And I said, all of those working at the airport should have been barricaded, all the working there shall remain there that day. They want to do. So that by the end of the 48 hours, they will know who all should be people of interest, but they waited. Now listen, he said that one Mr. Rahim Ba gave me the drug on the 5th of June. They said the man called into the office and said they needed quotation. You know, he's in cargo handling in his business. He said, but I know the kind of goods. Then they processed the entire shipment. Now they use an entity. And the entity we are hearing by report that the entity is a ghost entity, which is the Emery Group of Company. It's called Emery Van Group of Company. This group of company that they process the drugs, the material, they don't know that drugs, they say the shipment. They process it through. And they don't heard that it was Lapo and Market Q. I know Apple shipping Market Q now to Whale London. That's the issue. So he said they had no knowledge what was in the shipment because it went on the ground. He was only facilitating the return customers issue. You see? You see some of the things that come about this thing? You know, Jesus Christ. Liberia, this country. And just to note now that they said that the young man who is the one now, this young man reportedly, if you see some of the photos coming about this drug thing, how it was packaged. Even you heard the lady there in the first investigation saying that they have to start checking and see what was in this thing and how they were searching and all the issues they have to be. And our very first time to sniff Kool or cocaine, at the time she went close to the thing to sniff and know what's inside. You know, you have to check. That's why I told you, like everybody eating your daughter. Dogs could be a very serious help to the LDA and other security sector. Even dogs are trained to detect chemicals. Dogs are trained to detect dangerous elements. But I better the trained dog, big people they call got fences, they got houses, they are dogs. They will whole party, but the bigger dog, they kill it, the whole party, they sit there, they eat it. They roast it, they eat it. Now listen, the Rahim Bar that was named by Paul King as the one who gained the drugs, the 19 million drugs. We now hearing that reportedly his real name is Michael Brown. You see the deception that? You see what happened? Now we hearing that he is a former employee of the LAA, Liberia Airport Authority. Yeah. He was previously convicted in the airport drug case that suffered under different name. Now question is being mounted on his release. How? You know, Liberia, when people say things at times, I hear, oh, you're changing gear, you're doing this, you're doing this. That's why we have been here. And sometimes when I say to people, they try to doubt and wonder. When I came from on the radio, I got at this station in 2016, and I'm still here. We have seen things, we have heard things. Our lives have been threatened. So, some of you, by this time, you're back up for that thing, you're going to do your different winning job or go to different thing. But people don't understand. You see? The same thing with this. People of interest. With the Austrian attack, that lawmakers' name appeared. It should have been one of the biggest breaks of this government that lawmakers today should be behind bars. But the lawmakers, they are in section, they are taking salary, the benefits, and they are bringing taxpayer money and being named for interest of burning of the capital building. Now we get another group of people of interest. Jesus. Good morning.
Good morning, Vicky. Vicky, good morning.
Yeah, go ahead.
I called from the GMB and Chief Gateway Foundation and only took the individual to
No, I don't like. Don't bring that to me. I don't like it. You have to for the people in the city, you have to go to the LDA, you have to get information, you have to get portfolio, you have to get a job, you have to get institution, you have to go get information. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
I want to like viewers. Yeah, good morning.
Okay. My name is Sam. That's the one in charge here. The problem was Sam, like you're in charge. I called from Chicago. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Nat. How are you?
I'm not good as you are, but by the grace of God, I'm coping.
Thank you so much. Okay, I'm probably calling from tomorrow. Nat, you have said a whole lot. Senior Fremont, let me get in the senior Fremont issue.
Yeah.
When they come to the political, acts in this country and regarding his business in this country. Senior Fremont, when he opened the DSTV thing, if you don't know how much he have robbed the Liberian people out of the services that he offer, we know it. Especially not when you look at the DSTV, there was a time DSTV would not afford to put on a billboard on the government land, like along the main road or what have you, but they were hiring people, building houses, and putting their billboards on houses, and then paying the people small money, like a big company of such. If you decide to use people's dwelling house as a billboard to advertise your business across the country, how much it takes you to offer that person one DSTV set and just give them some reward?
They were saying you happy that will pin your
They're pin your house with blue pin.
Yeah.
They put DSTV
you
sign
pin
on
my
it.
whole the color one like and you put your entity name on the inside by a sample where you found.
Yeah, so these are some of the things. And the
thing about this government too, look, my brother, I'm one of those that help and make sure I put all of my strength behind President Baka to reach to the presidency today.
Thank you. You did well for us. Thank you.
Yeah. So, but the government, when the government is doing some things that is not right, that have to do with, you can't run that government.
How will we hear that President Baka running government on TC, on ESC? Who is passing it? Yeah, good morning. Yeah, go ahead. I'll take 2 more calls. I said, go ahead, Chief.
Yeah, thank you for talking with this morning. We see that we are in there. There is a panic in power on the cover cannot resolve issues. So what now? This can be run.
Hey, see, the next time I'm on the radio, Chris M. Brown, I saw I hear your name, I will cut you off. You got nothing to offer to the conversation. You got nothing. Just listen. They say if a man will only show his foolishness when he talk, but if he keep quiet, he will be counted among wise men. So when you keep quiet, you listen, they will say, yeah, you wise man, but don't talk. Please. The next time I hear your name, I will just cut you off. You gotta waste our time. You got nothing to offer the conversation. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, morning. You're not Miller.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, welcome.
Now, all the noise that are causing that have all the people they didn't have information about the coming. As soon as somebody comes out and say themselves to take it themselves. So I think we just because this person that will take your responsibility and have the finger have so it's but for the people that are the back talking they have press conferences, they don't have information for this country. That is my
Okay, thank you, and I want to say thanks to all of you. This is how we love to go on this morning, and we are always here. We are always here bringing you all of these developments.
Each of us on this podium have a big ego.
Many thanks to all of you.
Each of us have a big heart.
And dog, and I usually can say, please try as much, get your rain gears, and make sure that you are able to get where you're going. Because without you going there, it's difficult you getting what you are to get. Many thanks to all of you being here with us this morning again on the 30th day. And I hope that Liberians, or Liberia as a whole, they are having Liberians in South Africa. I don't know how this will turn out, but like the fool said, it will be a very serious, massive protest in South Africa. But we're hearing different, conflict information coming out. Some are saying stay, don't go, and other issues like that, and what the government is going to say. But we hope that our government are following those activities there. It's been so much wonderful this morning on the wet. I'm soaking wet where I'm sitting right now. I'm wet. Well, it's a call of duty, and we have to be here. Many thanks to all of you on today. Until then, tomorrow, we'll welcome July. I want to say thanks to all of you. Wiki Brooks, Nathaniel Var, T. Nicholas Barkley on this production of the Morning Round. Bye-bye.
To the young men in the Unity Party that are promoting